What if Darth Vader raised Luke? In Revenge of the Sith, we witnessed Padme's death, and as a result, Luke and Leia were separated at birth and were kept hidden from Vader himself. It wasn't until years later where Vader learned that Luke was his son all along and was kept a secret this entire time. But what if things were different? What if Vader was the one to raise Luke from birth? How different would things have been if he took it upon himself to raise him and train him in the ways of the dark side? Well, in this alternate timeline, that's exactly what we'll be diving into, so let's get right into it. Our story begins just 1 year after Revenge of the Sith, as Vader sat within the depths of his castle. Over this past year, Vader spent most of his time hunting Jedi and getting adjusted to his new suit and his new life. This was a big change for him, because he no longer was a young athletic Anakin Skywalker, but instead he was now trapped into this dark prison of a suit. However, although this suit brought him agonizing pain each and every day, in a way he began to enjoy it. In his eyes, the pain only made him stronger in the dark side, and so day by day he was becoming more and more powerful. Unfortunately though, there was one problem. Although Vader was extremely successful throughout his first year as the Emperor's enforcer, there was one thing missing: Obi-Wan Kenobi. Over this past year, Vader tried using all his resources to hunt down and locate Obi-Wan, but had no luck so far. No matter what, he nor any of his Inquisitors had been able to find Kenobi, and Vader was starting to get furious. He wanted revenge on this pathetic Jedi and was gonna let nothing stand in his way. So he contacted his master immediately.
Lord Vader, I take it your recent mission to Kala has gone well, my old friend?
Yes, Master.
However, I sense there is more to you summoning me. You seem unsettled, my friend.
Obi-Wan Kenobi still lives. We have been unsuccessful in locating him.
I see. And I take it you want revenge on your former master. Yes? Is that it?
Yes.
Good. Revenge is crucial to a Sith's life. However, do not let it blind you, Lord Vader. Kenobi is just one lone Jedi. He is no longer a threat to our empire.
Vader went silent.
But for what it's worth, perhaps finding him will deepen your connection to the dark side, and you will finally get rid of your past that is associated with Anakin Skywalker.
I do not know where to find him.
Perhaps Kenobi is hiding somewhere that you are likely to avoid, my old friend. Somewhere that brings you pain. Somewhere that ignites your anger. Perhaps Naboo. Or better yet, Tatooine.
Vader froze. Tatooine. A planet that he's been trying to forget about for years. All the pain he dealt with there. All the suffering.
You believe Kenobi is on Tatooine?
I am unsure, my friend, but it could be.
Then that is where I will begin.
Very well, Lord Vader. However, do not let your hunt for Kenobi interfere with the needs of our galactic empire. You are to report back after your hunt, and if unsuccessful, you will put aside your obsession with Kenobi once and for all. Is that understood?
Yes, my master.
Good. Lord Vader, one last thing. If you are in fact successful in finding him, do not allow him to embarrass you a second time. That would be most disappointing.
Vader clenched his fist. His master's words were only enraging him.
I will not fail this time, my master.
With that, Vader set course for the planet of Tatooine, hoping to finally locate Kenobi. However, for this mission, Vader wanted to go alone. Normally, he'd bring his team of Inquisitors with him for something like this, but if Kenobi was in fact here, then he wanted the satisfaction of killing him himself. So in time, Vader eventually arrived on Tatooine, and as he did, his hunt began. As he walked through the streets of Mos Espa, he began looking for hints on where Kenobi could be, when then something struck him. As he searched throughout the town, he came across a workshop that was way too familiar to him. Watto's junk shop. Just seeing this place, it filled Vader with rage. He remembered it all. The way Watto forced him to work tirelessly as a slave, the way he treated his mother, and most of all, the pain he inflicted on him even as a young child. Anger swelled within Vader. However, perhaps this old Toydarian could be useful to him. Maybe he would know where Kenobi was. So Vader entered the shop, and as he did, he was in luck. It was there where Watto stood there, but he wasn't alone. Beside him was a young child doing work for him, which felt all too familiar to Vader. It seemed as if nothing has changed around here.
Whatever they said I did, I promise I didn't do it.
Shut it, Toydarian. I did not enter your shop for you to grovel.
Sorry, we just reopened this shop not long ago and, well, some people aren't that happy with me. Anyways, how can we help you?
Jedi Obi-Wan Kenobi. Is that name familiar to you?
A Jedi? Oh, they're all but gone, aren't they? No, I've never heard of a Kenobi. I do know one Jedi, though. Or, at least I used to. In fact, I owned him.
Vader swelled up with rage.
Little Annie, his name was. Sadly, I don't know what happened to him, but his mother's old family still lives out in the Judlin Wastes. The Lars family. Owen and Beru Lars. No, at least I think it was Lars.
Vader went silent. At that moment, he remembered those names. Owen and Beru Lars. He remembered meeting the young couple all those years ago and how Owen's father Klieg was too weak to save his mother. Because of him, she was dead. What a pathetic family, he thought to himself. Vader then approached Watto and stood even closer to him.
Is everything okay?
The Empire thanks you for your service, my old master.
Wait, what? Old
With one strike of his blade, Vader sliced Watto right across his throat. It was done. Watto was dead. As Vader stood above his dead body, he then looked over at the child, who was standing there shaking in fear.
Leave and never return back here, child.
The boy nodded and sprinted off right away. Vader then looked back at Watto's dead body, and as he did, he couldn't help but laugh inside. With all the pain and suffering that Watto put him through as a child, killing him felt so good. However, Vader wasn't satisfied. He wanted more. He wanted Kenobi. So he then left the shop and set course for the Lars homestead. As time passed, Vader eventually arrived at the homestead, but as he did, he felt an unusual presence. He felt something strong in the Force. Was it coming from the home? Vader wasn't sure, so he started walking towards it, but then...
I wouldn't do that.
Vader turned around. It was him. It was Obi-Wan. Palpatine was right. He really was hiding here all this time.
Our long-awaited meeting has come at last.
Obi-Wan was shaking.
No. It can't be. It can't be. Please say that's not you under there, Anakin.
Anakin Skywalker is dead. I destroyed him.
Anakin, if that's you under there, I will not fight you again.
How unfortunate.
Vader ignited his crimson red lightsaber.
Tell me, Kenobi, why here of all places? Did you really believe I would not search this planet?
Obi-Wan was still shaking.
Anakin, please. I'm sorry. For all of it.
As Obi-Wan said this, he quickly glanced over at the Lars homestead, almost like he was checking on something, or better yet, someone.
Perhaps you did not choose this planet for solitude, but rather to protect somebody. Who would be so valuable to you, Kenobi?
I will not let you hurt him, Anakin.
Him?
Vader was intrigued. However, before he could react, Obi-Wan then ignited his blue lightsaber. As he did though, he was still shaking. Although he acted like he was ready to fight, his hands were trembling. In a way, it looked like he had no idea how to even hold a lightsaber.
You seem unsettled. Perhaps you have gotten weaker over the months.
Obi-Wan ignored him. With that, Vader then leaped towards his old master and the two began to duel. As they did, beams of red and blue clashed in the desert sands of Tatooine as Obi-Wan and Vader fought one another. However, Obi-Wan stood no chance. Because he's not trained at all over this past year, he was no match against Vader's brute strength. So, as they kept clashing, Vader only became stronger with each strike of his blade, while Obi-Wan only got weaker. He knew this was it. He knew this was his end. Then out of nowhere, Vader quickly knocked his saber out of his hands and brought him to the ground. Vader had won and Obi-Wan was defeated.
Anakin, please. I know you're under there, Anakin. There's still good in you. I know the Emperor hasn't driven it from you fully. It doesn't have to be like this.
Answer me, Jedi. Who are you protecting?
Obi-Wan stayed silent.
I shall find out myself then. Any last words, my master?
I'm sorry, Anakin. I love you like a brother. I always have, and I always will.
With one swift strike of his blade, Vader sliced his saber right through Obi-Wan's robes. But he disappeared. He was nowhere to be found. His body was gone. What kind of sorcery was this, Vader thought to himself? Was he dead? Did he finish the job? Although Vader felt joy from killing his master, in a way, he was terrified. Was this some sort of Jedi trick? Vader wasn't sure, but that was irrelevant right now. He had a mission to complete. He had to learn who Kenobi was so protective about. So Vader approached the Lars homestead, but as he entered, Owen and Beru Lars stood right in front of him. However, as they did, they had their blasters raised high, pointed at Vader.
Leave our home. Now!
We need not be adversaries. The Empire will show you mercy if you inform me who Kenobi was protecting here.
Never. I would rather die protecting this family than handing Luke over to you.
Luke. Now that's a name.
So be it, Lars.
Without hesitation, Vader cracked both Owen and Beru's necks, killing them without mercy. With that, both Owen and Beru Lars were now dead, as Vader showed no remorse. However, as Vader stood above their dead bodies, he heard a cry. But this wasn't just any cry. That cry was from a child. Vader walked over to where he heard the noise. It was there where he found this child laying in a blanket inside of a box of some sort. However, as Vader looked at the child, he sensed that he had a strong connection to the Force. This boy, he had a gift. How? Vader looked into his big blue eyes. However, as he did, he felt some sort of familiarity. Looking into his eyes, this child reminded him of Padme? No, it couldn't be. Vader's heart sank. Wait a minute. Luke. Over a year ago, that was the name he and Padme came up with together if they had a boy. Was this his son? Was his son kept away from him this entire time? Vader's emotions quickly turned into rage. Sidious told him that he was the one who killed Padme, so how is this possible? Does that mean she survived Mustafar and gave birth after? There was no way she was still alive, since she did have an open casket at her funeral. However, if she was able to give birth before dying, then that meant Sidious lied to him. Vader had anger. He had hatred. Just like Watto and Kenobi, Vader wanted revenge once again. This time on his own master, Darth Sidious. With his son now by his side, he would train him to become a powerful apprentice. Although it would take time, he and Luke could overthrow the Emperor together, and Vader would finally get his revenge. Yes, Vader loved the idea of this, and nothing was gonna stop him. So he looked down at his son one more time.
Let us go, my son. We begin your training at once.
18 years had passed since Vader discovered Luke, and since then, the two had truly become an unstoppable duo. Over these years, Vader spent each and every day training Luke in the ways of the dark side and teaching him everything he knew. He'd spent a lot of time teaching him the flaws of the Jedi Order and what made them so weak, but also showing him why the Sith were more powerful. At times, Vader would even provide Luke with ancient Sith texts and holocrons so he could learn about the Sith who came before him and what it really took to become a powerful dark side user. With that, Luke only became stronger and stronger as the years passed, and he truly had become a force to be reckoned with. However, there was one issue. To prevent Palpatine from learning about Luke, Vader had to keep him in hiding at all times. He knew that if Palpatine learned about Luke's existence, he'd try to take him as his own apprentice, and Vader couldn't allow that. So during Luke's younger years, he kept him within one of the hidden rooms in his fortress. These hidden rooms were away from everyone and everything, which was perfect to keep Luke's existence under wraps. It was in these rooms where he trained Luke each and every day, but also have him practice against many different training droids. Since Vader usually had his own missions to attend to, he programmed an army of commando droids to put Luke through brutal and intense training every day, and well, it paid off. However, as he grew older, he started to get tired of always staying hidden. He wanted to be out there fighting with Vader, and most of all, he wanted to kill his first Jedi. He was tired of being locked away in a room, and at times he felt like his father was just holding him back. So that's when Vader did something smart. To allow Luke to fight while also keeping him hidden at the same time, he disguised him as an Inquisitor. With that, Luke would fight alongside the other Inquisitors and hunting Jedi, all while keeping his helmet on at all times to lay low. However, on top of that, Vader also ordered Luke to hold back with his abilities and never do anything that would make him stand out from the rest. Even as a teenager, he knew Luke was way more powerful than the other Inquisitors, so holding back was a must. Any unwanted attention would just disrupt their ultimate plan, their plan to overthrow the Emperor. Now 18 years later, Luke was almost at the height of his power and he was ready. Just like his father, he craved more power and he wanted to rule this galaxy once and for all. So, as Luke returned back from one of his missions, he met with Vader within the depths of his fortress.
I see your recent mission has gone well, Luke.
Yes, Father. However, I want more. This is getting ridiculous. There's barely any Jedi left. The entire Order is almost extinct at this rate. At this point, the Inquisitorius program is useless. I'm one of the only remaining few. Half of the group has either been killed or just left. It's been useless ever since the Grand Inquisitor died.
I see. Then perhaps it is time for our next step.
I'm ready. The Emperor will stand no chance with our combined strength.
Do not underestimate him, Luke. Arrogance will only lead to our downfall.
Luke nodded.
I understand.
My master is currently stationed on the Death Star. That is where we will go.
With that, Vader and Luke set course for the Death Star, and in time they eventually arrived. As they did, Luke kept his helmet on per usual, and the two made their way through the space station. From there, they went up to Palpatine's throne room, and as they entered, Palpatine started cackling.
Lord Vader, I see you have brought along an Inquisitor. I must say, first brother, you truly have become one of the Inquisitor's finest over these years. Almost as if you were destined to become much more than that. Wouldn't you agree, Lord Vader?
Vader went silent. What was he talking about?
Did you really believe I would not sense what you were planning, Lord Vader? It was I who sent you back to Tatooine all those years ago. And do you know why?
Vader stayed silent.
To prove your loyalty. I knew Kenobi was hiding on that planet, and I knew that your son was kept hidden there. However, I wanted you to be the one to find him. I wanted you to be filled with rage so that you could become stronger. Unfortunately, though, you believe that training him yourself to overthrow me was the best course of action. Instead of bringing him to me, you chose to take matters into your own hands. How unfortunate.
You lied. You told me I killed Padme.
Get over your pathetic feelings, boy. Your wife has been dead for close to 20 years now. There is no bringing her back. Perhaps if you spent less time mourning her, you could have become more powerful by now.
Palpatine looked over at Luke.
Remove your helmet, young Skywalker.
Luke removed his helmet.
Yes. You do look just like your father. You see, young Skywalker, your father was destined to be my dream apprentice. He was about to be so much more, but he was too weak. His loss to Kenobi sent him back, and now look at him.
Luke stayed silent.
I've kept a close eye on you, Skywalker. Lord Vader will never admit it, but you already are far more powerful than him. Don't you see? Don't you feel it? He is afraid of what you could be. Become my apprentice, and I will show you power beyond what he could ever teach you. Or remain his slave, and you will always be held back. The choice is yours.
You're right. I know I'm more powerful than him. However, not just him. but you as well.
Is that so?
Shall we put it to a test?
Your arrogance blinds you, young Skywalker. It seems you truly are your father's son.
Luke looked at Vader.
Let's take him together.
Vader nodded, and from there, they both ignited their red lightsabers.
Let this be the final word in the story of Skywalker.
Palpatine then ignited his red saber and leaped towards the two of them. With that, it was now a duel to the death between Vader, Luke, and Palpatine as the three clashed sabers. All three of them went back and forth with red blades flashing across the throne room. However, although Palpatine was powerful, he was no match for the two of them. With the combined strength of Luke and Vader, they were just too strong. Luke's speed, his agility, everything. Palpatine thought to himself he would make a perfect apprentice. However, as the fight continued, Palpatine began to get overwhelmed. For once, he truly had no counter. Then before he knew it, Luke was able to break through his defense and kick him right to the ground. From there, Vader and Luke then stood above him, pointing their sabers at his throat. However, although Palpatine was defeated, he couldn't help but laugh.
Good. Very good, boy. Your hate has made you powerful, young Skywalker. You have proven that you are so much stronger than your father. By defeating me, you have done what he could not his entire life.
Shut it. Your rule has come to an end, Your Highness.
Is that so? Do it, then. Strike me down, young Skywalker. But just know, you'll never understand true power without me. You will always be nothing more than a tool to your father. He was too weak to save his own wife, and he'll be too weak to rule this galaxy alone. He does not have what it takes.
That's why he won't be the one ruling. Farewell, Emperor.
With one strike of his blade, Luke stabbed Palpatine right through his chest. It was done. Emperor Palpatine was finally dead, and his rule was now over. As Vader witnessed his son do this, he was shocked. His thoughts, his emotions, everything rushed through him. However, for the first time in years, he didn't feel emotions of anger nor hatred. Instead, he felt regret. Regret for everything. Regret for not leaving with Padme that night, for turning against her, and for not even witnessing the birth of his own child. For so long, he thought that getting revenge on Palpatine would fix his pain and suffering, but it didn't. Instead, it now made him truly understand the trap of the dark side. The entire time he's been lied to, controlled, and led to believe that the dark side was the only path. However, because of the dark side, that's why he lost everything. Palpatine tricked him and turned him into this monster. This wasn't him. This wasn't who he once was. What has he done? His son could have grown up to be an incredible young man like he once was, but now he was twisted by evil, and it was all his fault. No, Vader had to fix this.
Son, this isn't right.
Luke turned around.
What are you talking about?
This is not what your mother, Padme, would have wanted. I was wrong.
Luke snarled.
You're weaker than I thought, Father.
Luke,
Enough! For years, you've taught me how weak the Jedi were. How their compassion for others was what led to the collapse of their order. But now it seems you're just like them. Pathetic.
Vader stayed silent.
It seems you've left me with no other option but to kill you, Father. As you know, only one of us can sit in the Emperor's throne. And unfortunately, that won't be you.
You are making a mistake, Luke.
Oh, I don't think so.
With that, Luke ignited his red lightsaber. Vader did the same, and from there, the two began to clash. It was now a duel between the father and son as the two fought aboard the Death Star. However, Vader was quickly outmatched. His compassion, his emotions, they were getting the best of him. This wasn't the same Darth Vader that helped terrorize this galaxy the past years. This was Anakin Skywalker now, and unfortunately, Luke saw right through that. He felt his father's weakness, so he kept overpowering him. Then the unexpected happened. As the two reached the bridge, Luke unleashed all his anger on Vader, and so out of nowhere, he sliced his hand right off. Vader was then brought to the ground and Luke stood right above him.
You are beaten.
Vader had no words. He was too injured to even speak.
I must say, I'm most disappointed in you, Father. For years I looked up to you. For years all I ever wanted was to make you proud. But in time, I quickly realized how weak you truly were. And well, your actions tonight proved me right. You are nothing.
Vader gasped for air.
Son.
Enough. I've grown tired of your lectures.
At that moment, Vader regretted everything. He wished he had the chance to go back in time and change it all, but it was too late. He accepted his fate. This was the end for him.
Any last words, Father?
I love you, Luke.
Out of nowhere, Luke stabbed his lightsaber right through Vader's armor. It was done. Darth Vader was dead. Luke had truly won. However, as he stood there, he couldn't help but laugh. With both the Emperor and Darth Vader now dead, the galaxy belonged to him. Nobody could stop him now. Nobody. From this day on, the galaxy would now suffer under the rule of Lord Skywalker.
This galaxy, it belongs to me now.
Master, have you felt it? This disturbance. I've never felt anything so strong.
Yes, young Leia. Felt it I have.
It's my brother, isn't it? The one you've always spoken about.
Yes, your brother it is. Consumed by darkness he has become, just like your father.
Master Yoda, I know I can turn him. If what you said is true, and he even remotely has the same blood as me, I know there must still be good in him. Please, let me confront him.
No. Fearless and relentless you are, like your mother. However, patience you must learn, young Leia. Much more training you need still, but in time, then you hope you will be.